Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in today's video we'll be discussing Jessica Bloodlust as part of the video. However, we are doing a special interview today with someone who worked on Love Letter. So I hope you guys appreciate this video because this will advance us to how to make the project better and try to understand the other side narrative on what happened with Love Letter. Anyways guys, thank you for watching this video, and let's get started. So you guys will probably be wondering, Isaiah, who we're interviewing today? Well, this is a special guest who worked on Love Letter, and her name is Shortcake Emoji. She's been working on the project basically as a volunteer, and she's the original creator of Bochan. So since she's the original creator of Bochan and she has experience with the drama that's been happening with Love Letter, I thought it would be a good idea to interview her even though other people did not answer. So, in this thread I've shown, I had a conversation with Shortcake Emoji a couple times for scheduling when we should have the interview. And luckily my finals were finished and we had time to talk. So the first question I asked her was, okay, how are you? And she replied with this: I've been doing well, tired because of college, but well. I hope you've been doing good as well. And I'm kind of curious with this because I'm not in college, but high school is it's kind of weird in 2020. It kind of gets on my nerves a bit, but it's still fine. Okay. And I replied with this: thanks, I'm doing well too. So my first question is, what inspired you to make Bochan? She replies with this: everyone was making their own creations of the main protagonist. I was inspired by all of them. I research on some common yandere concepts, and most had ponytails and pigtails, etc. Bochan's hair was heavily inspired by one of the consonants symbols of old hairstyles. I replied with this: that's cool. Was she the only character you made? I had 3 renditions. Since the main protagonist was still Yandere-chan at the time, I used the design before making Bochan. It was really kind of cool because you can see the similarities between Bochan and this one. So I asked her another question. Okay, another question I have is, what's your stance on the Love Letter team? Before and after the controversy, of course. And she replies with her honest answer was, well, I did meet many wonderful people on the team, such as Tina, Reflected Human, Stampai, and the original B, etc. I saw the team was very unprofessional and very bootlicking at extent. Some members were treated better than others. Every time I woke up, something was up. I feel your pain. Okay. You have an example of a screenshot? And she did provide a screenshot after she texted this. I will give an example, yes. The source is from Bochan's former voice actress. And I replied, thank you, and these are some of the tweets in it. So yeah, she says that they were sexist and stuff like that. And I could kind of see where she was coming from. Yeah. I can see why. So I asked her another question, this time discussing Maggie Moon and DR.APEIS. Well, Maggie Moon I've been listening to the whole time. Do you know if they are doing alright doing this? I have friends and loved ones who are the same age, which hurts me to hear. And Strawberry Shortcake replies on this: Maggie Moon has dealt with the situation far better than I expected, and she has been doing well. Intentionally, she was worried about coming out, but I encouraged her to share her story, which I will provide the video of Shortcake's in below, so that way you can understand her and what's been going on with the development team. And I asked her, are you still in contact with her? And she replies, yes I am. I'm still talking to her. Okay, And I do reply to this saying, I'm glad that she's done this brave thing. What was your opinion on DR.APEIS? I think he should have addressed this rather than just called this harassment and annoyance. And Shortcake replies in this, he constantly does this with everything. I am sick of it, and it's frustrating that he refuses to see the weight of his actions. Which is, I actually have this because this is really annoying. At certain points, you have to admit that you're wrong, and DR.APEIS didn't actually do that. Anyways, back to the interview. And I reply with this, exactly, it's frustrating. If you think the project was more focused and professional, do you think that the love letter would have worked? And any suggestions of the first time team? I actually wrote Yeem instead of team, but yeah, you know what I was going for. And she replies in this, oh, absolutely. If the team was more professional and listened to criticism, I would have stayed. When it comes to first time teams, keep it professional. Take criticism into account. Improve life while the team and communication is key. Communication is key, my bad. And I said, thanks. I'm working on a game, so I don't want to take anything. So I want to take anything I can. So I have a few questions left for a love letter, and the last few should be it. Was there anyone on the team helping Maggie Moon and Carmen? And she replies in this. As far as I know, I was the only one who was still in contact with Maggie Moon. With Carmen, I'm not too sure. Understandable. And okay, last question on love letter and you. What have you learned from the experience with DR.APEIS, Maggie Moon, the project, etc.? And it took her a little time to answer this, but then she replied, saying, I've learned to never hype up a project like this. Be optimistic. Be optimistic, but don't be too hopeful. Take into account that you're working with who you're working with, and do background checks on those who plan to hire. I can't say that because I'm trying to calm my channel down. So, Dead A, this made me so stressed, and I was like, understandable. So I'm asking her these questions because I am working on a game right now, and I do want to take some things into account, if you guys understand what I'm trying to do. So my next question will be advice on trying to help me and my game team. And she replies, alright, my best, but I'm not a team manager of any kind, so I take this with a grain of salt. So I asked her the first question. What advice would you give to first-time time people working on a project, their goals, etc.? And she replies in this. 1. Communication is key. Be direct and do not be verged to anything as confuse others. 2. Help a game plan, roadmap, implement and work with features at high priority, and which ones you work on later, etc. 3. Take criticism. Criticism is your friend. Having someone playtest and prototype is getting feedback will work wonders for you. 4. Do not overstaff. Only game members when the project gets more complete. If you overstaff, you will have many people without anything to do. If you have minors working on the project, don't discuss non-safe for work topics. That's self-explanatory, obviously. Okay. And 6. Keep political opinions minimal. And after responding to that, I said to her, thank you. She's like, no problem. So lastly, is there any advice you could give to my main character's design? And I posted a picture of Jessica Bloodlust. And she says to this, As far as I can tell, the design looks very well done and thought out. Loving the knife. I'm like, I've been doing kind of concept of how the knife will look for like hours, so yeah. Thank you. Like, okay, thanks. Any words for the end of the interview? And she's like, no words. I hope your project goes well. Okay, thanks. Thanks for taking your time for the interview with you. No problem. I wish you well. And that was the end of our conversation. So in this conversation, we have learned many things about the love letter and stuff like that. Basically stuff we already known, but we gotten into it from another person's perspective. So what have I learned from this interview? Quite a lot of things that I haven't thought of. I know most of the stuff. Basically, when she is numbering what things to do during this, and the only thing that I could find a problem with the team is overstaffing, and that's not technically it. Overstaffing is kind of a problem with Jessica Bloodlust, and kind of communications as well. So we could try to do better in those areas. And yeah, thanks for the criticism you gave, because we definitely need those. So anyways guys, I think that's all we're going to do for this video. And hopefully after I stop moving, we can finally get started with the Unity version of the game. We'll still be working on the Scratch version as well. And this is going to take some time to get started. Anyways guys, I hope you guys stay tuned in the project. Love you, and thank you for following the development. Oh yeah, by the way, I know that you guys might be mad at me for not updating the game and stuff like that, but I'm moving. Please be patient, okay? Love you guys, and I'll see you guys all next time.